You know, I was really surprised by just how funny the sequel to the new Halloween movie is. The movie really kills.
Hello, Adam Ryan Donato.
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 Hello, Adam Ryan Donaldo.
Hello, Adam Ryan Donato.
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 Hello. I'm back again here to talk about the new movie of the week. We have Halloween Kills. This is a sequel to 2018's Halloween, which is a sequel to 1978's Halloween. It ignores literally every other Halloween movie that's been made, which is great because I've only seen the 1978 Halloween movie many times, 2018 Halloween movie once, and then Halloween Kills, obviously. So good. I am happy none of it matters. I'm going to catch up on it, I swear. We have David Gordon Green back to direct with his writing partner, Danny McBride. Hell yeah, baby. The whole cast is back here for the sequel, and we pick up right where we left off. Laurie Strode and her daughters trap Michael Myers in the basement of their house while it's burning to the ground. They drive away knowing that the boogeyman is dead. Except he's not. As they're driving away, they see fire trucks coming up, and they're like, "Let it burn!" Which is, by the way, my favorite line in any trailer ever. Michael Myers obviously takes out these firefighters, then sets havoc on the town once again. The town decides enough is enough, and evil dies tonight, and they're gonna go out and try to kill Michael Myers, I guess. Good luck with that. So just to recap my thoughts on the other Halloween movies, I rewatched the 1978 Halloween movie before I watched Halloween Kills. It's perfect. It's the best movie ever. No, I'm kidding. It's one of the best horror movies of all time. It's certainly on the Mount Rushmore of horror movies. It's so beautiful and simple. You just wish that no one ever touched it ever again after it was done. Obviously, the score is fantastic. Great movie. Love it. Couldn't say enough great things about it. Love it. The 2018 Halloween movie, on the other hand, I thought was imperfect. When it came out, I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I didn't really think it was very necessary. I thought it was very Force Awakens-y. Kind of like Jurassic World, where it's like, oh, remember Halloween? Yeah, we love Halloween. Don't you love Halloween? You love Halloween so much. You know, she falls out of the house, and then when he looks down, she's gone, just like Michael in the first movie. There's a shot of the granddaughter in high school just sitting in a corner, just writing on her stuff. Oh my gosh, just like Laurie Strode in the original, and then she sees Michael Myers outside the window. But this time, she sees her grandmother, Laurie Strode, out the window, which it's cute. No, it's all really cute and great. A few days after I watched Halloween Kills, I rewatched the 2018 Halloween movie, and wow, did it really put in perspective how good the 2018 Halloween movie is. I really appreciate everything they did with those characters. I actually care about the characters now, because when you watch the original 1978 Halloween movie, no one's like, oh man, Laurie Strode is such a great fleshed out character. I love her arc and everything. Oh my gosh. No, but in the 2018 Halloween movie, she has depth. Her performance, you actually can see some kind of effort put in there. They clearly had a vision for her character, and it really is fantastic in the 2018 Halloween movie. And I love how the movie ends, which is a great segue into Halloween Kills, because this movie isn't really necessary. When they ended the 2018 Halloween movie, I was so happy because it's such a beautiful ending, because Laurie Strode with her daughters takes out Michael Myers. The last shot of the basement, you don't see Michael Myers in there, so if you really want, you can believe that Michael Myers got out of there or never existed, or I don't know. Obviously he exists, but you can imagine that he got out or something, or that he's just dead. And then they end it with them all hugging in the back of that truck, and then they pan down to the granddaughter, and she's got the bloody knife in her hand, the bloody knife that she used to cut up Michael Myers to trap him in that basement. It's just such a beautiful ending. It gives you so much closure. They announce, oh, we're gonna make not one but 2 sequels to this movie, which honestly is not the worst case scenario, because if they just announced 1 sequel to the movie, I would have been much less excited than if they announced 2 sequels. If they announced 2, Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, then that means they have somewhat of a plan, and they're going to make a trilogy here. You know how trilogies are so satisfying? It's like, oh, 3 acts, This is the perfect way to tell a story, is in 3 parts. But honestly, yeah, that's honestly why I was excited. I was excited that they were taking the story seriously. When the trailer came out, it was cool to see they were picking up right where they left off. Other than that, nothing else really got me excited for this movie at all. So let's just get into it. I thought Halloween Kills was a good time at the theater. I think that there were a lot of good scares, and everyone in my press screening jumped and screamed and ah! It was also surprisingly funny. There's a lot of humor in this movie. Going back and rewatching the 2018 Halloween movie, I noticed a little bit more comedy than I remember. Obviously, this is the case. When you have the guy who directed Pineapple Express matched up with Danny McBride writing a movie, I don't care what genre it is, it's going to be funny in some capacity. This one's a lot funnier than the 2018 one, for better or for worse, who knows. It's a lot of this self-aware comedy as well. Not like Scream where it's like, in a horror movie this happens, but it is kind of like that, like, oh, there's something over there in the dark, you go check it out, you know, like it's cheesy humor, but it's funny and it works. It really helps the pacing of the movie in between the scary scenes. My main point when talking about Halloween Kills is the story and characters suck. Like I said, it's scary. Actually, that being said, the scares aren't even really that great. Going back and rewatching the 2018 Halloween movie, there were several that I was like, oh wow, that like is actually really crazy, and that actually is really terrifying. Kills wise, like I'm not a big gore guy, but you know, there's one where he like stabs a woman in the back of the head and the knife comes out through her eye, and it's like, dang, that was crazy. Horror doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm actively stabbing you with a knife. Sometimes it's scary to just see Michael Myers in a window staring at you, and then Laurie Strode shoots at him and it breaks the mirror, and it's like, oh, like that's such a cool scare. Honestly, another thing that really bothers me about Halloween Kills, it's one of my favorite parts about Halloween 2018, is I love after he kills the mom in that house. By the way, that tracking shot where they go through the house is amazing. Oh my gosh, and there's music, and it's such a beautiful moment. But he passes by a crib with a crying baby, and he stops, and he looks, and then he looks back up, and he keeps going. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? The cool part about the Michael Myers character is that he doesn't give a fuck. He's my hero. He doesn't care about anything. He doesn't have any motivation whatsoever. He never cared about Laurie Strode. I know that the sequel secretly reveals that Laurie Strode is related to Michael Myers, which I'm sure is a movie. But one aspect I wish they played up more in these movies, which they mention it at parts, especially in this movie, they mention it. Laurie Strode's like, he's coming for me. I'm in the hospital and he's coming for me and I'm hurt and oh my gosh. And people are like, what? Like, no, he's not coming for you. What makes you think he cares about you? And that's kind of an interesting concept because it's like, oh, he's coming for me. He's coming for me. And then realizing that he doesn't give a fuck about you. He caused decades of trauma. He ruined your life. And he's like, I don't even know you. That's a really cool concept to play with, but they just kind of like flirt with it a little bit. They don't like dive into that. I kind of hope they do that in the third one, Halloween Ends, where it's just like there's about to be this big huge mashup and he's just like, oh, I don't like care. Because in the 2018 Halloween movie, the only reason they have that showdown at the end is because the doctor wanted them to interact again so that they could, I don't really know. And I watched it today and I don't really remember. It was some stupid crazy reason. He also put the mask on and killed someone. He's like, that's what it like feels like to be Michael. And it's like, yeah, I guess it does, guy. Honestly, the 3 main characters from the first movie, so we got Laurie Strode, her daughter, and then her granddaughter. And they each have their own story. Obviously, they all like intertwine throughout, but they all have their own story and it's very fleshed out. Laurie Strode's freaking out about the fact that Michael Myers is on the loose again. She ruined her entire life. She had 2 divorces. She lost custody of her daughter, and she's this recluse that's in this bear trap of a house just waiting for a mental patient to escape. Her daughter is just trying to move on and have a normal life, and she hates that her mother is being dragged back into her life by her granddaughter, and so it's such a struggle because she cares so much about her granddaughter, but her granddaughter really wants her mother back in their lives, and it's clear that she's not moved on from Michael Myers. It's this big personal conflict that I really enjoy. And the granddaughter is just trying to live a normal life. She's just trying to live a normal life, and everyone keeps lying to her. She's like consistently like, oh yeah, really? You were there? You talked to her? And it's just funny because everyone's lying to this girl. I remember when I watched the 2018 one back in 2018, I was upset with the granddaughter storyline because I didn't understand how it had anything to do with anything, and it was just kind of stupid and annoying and really cringy. And it is really stupid, annoying, and cringy. Rewatching it, I see why it's necessary. It's cool to see a Halloween dance, and it's cool that, you know, she's the new final girl. She kind of is what brings her mother and her grandmother back together, and it's great. It's whatever. It's fine. I'm not mad about it anymore. In this movie, they have nothing to do. Laurie Strode's in the hospital the entire time, and she's hurt. At one point, she's like, no, I have to. And she, like, injects herself with some, like, pain meds, and then she just gets up and runs around the hospital for a minute. And at the end, she gives a monologue about whatever. And it's a great monologue, don't get me wrong, but just I wish she had something to do in the damn movie besides thirst over the cop that was sitting next to her in the hospital. I don't even know. Judy Greer has nothing to do in this movie as well. She lies to her mother and is like, oh no, Michael Myers is dead. He's definitely dead. Just stay here in the hospital. Of course, Laurie Strode finds out because the entire town is going fucking insane. She tries to save the life of a mental patient that everyone in the hospital is blaming as Michael. They're like, oh, he's Michael Myers. We gotta catch him. We gotta go get him. She locks him in the hallway for some reason. She thinks this is gonna help him, obviously. And he jumps out the window and kills himself. I'll get back to the mob mentality thing. That's a big aspect about the movie here. The granddaughter is trying to join the militia that's trying to go after Michael Myers. They're all in these groups of 4. They're so stupid. They get taken out like they're nothing every single time. They have like these tiny guns and like bats and stuff. And I'm like, you're going up against Michael Myers and you have a bat? Like, get a shotgun or something, like a flamethrower, like a big machete, like something, dude. Like, come on, we're not talking about your normal burglar. Like, I have a bat in my apartment. I know where it is. So if a burglar breaks in, bam, bam, bam. But, like, this is Michael Myers here. This guy who has murdered so many people now. You guys know how lethal this guy is. You locked him in a basement, set him on fire, and he took down a group of firefighters. You really think you're gonna take him down with your bat? Oh, old Huckleberry here. Shut the fuck up, Tommy Doyle. Yeah, Tommy Doyle is basically the main character of this movie because he is at this bar on Halloween. He gives some speech about it. He's like, oh, a lot of people were murdered 40 years ago on this night, and one of them was almost my babysitter, and we are the survivors, and we are so much stronger now. And then obviously Michael Myers gets out, and he leads the group. He's like, oh, evil dies tonight, evil dies tonight. And he's like really going out of his way to hype everybody up and get everybody in groups, and they're gonna go hunt down Michael Myers. And dope, awesome, cool. So big theme. I say theme like that because I don't respect this movie enough to like it was trying to do things. The point of the movie they want you to get is, oh, Michael Myers is a monster, but because of our fear of him, we became monsters ourselves. You know, like that mob mentality and being ruled by fear is not the way to go because it brings out the worst in us. And like that's cute and whatever, but like I don't know. I was just really like, no, I like it. I like it. Great. I'm happy that this stupid horror movie was trying to say something. Thanks. I just wish they dedicated more time and effort into our 3 main characters because I actually really like them from the first movie. I'm really excited to see where they go. And now to watch this movie and just be like, okay, so they're just there, I guess. Even the most proactive of them is granddaughter, and she's just kind of along for the ride. I don't even remember what she does. So the characters, there's no development or growth or anything of substance happens with them at all. The story is just the town is going after Michael Myers, and spoiler alert, they get him, but then again they don't, which is also annoying and dumb. So at the end of the movie, they trick him, right? They're like, they set up a trap at the house. She takes the mask from him, and he's like, you want the mask? You want your stupid fucking mask? They lure him into the street. All these trucks show up, and they're like, haha, we got you now. And they all just start hitting him with a bat. And my thought process when this scene's happening is like, oh, I just want him to go ape shit on everybody and take them all out. Like, oh, you have a militia? Yeah, well, sucks. I really wanted that, but it's this like really like hard-hitting scene where they're like they're beating him down and they're all kicking him while he's down and everything, and it's like, yeah, good job, but also like you're just hitting him with bats. You're just punching this dude. She stabs him in the upper back at the very end, and I'm like, oh, good. Let's start cutting hands off and stuff. Like, let's dismember this guy. Let's make sure that he's dead. Stab him in the head. Poke his eyes out. You know how lethal this dude is. You know how indestructible this monster is. You're just gonna kick him a bit and old Huck, let me hit him. Screw you. So he's down and out. Half of the militia is just like, we got him. And that let's just go chill out now. Let's go talk to the paramedics and whatever. It's over. Michael just like gets up at one point and then he starts laying waste to motherfuckers. Like he just starts beating everybody up and it's all dope and cool. And I love it. I'm great. Let's get some good, awesome kills. Halloween kills. You delivered on what you promised, which is great. He lays waste to all these bitches. We see Judy Greer staring out of a window, the same window that Michael Myers looked out. And maybe he wasn't looking at anything. Maybe he was looking at the reflection of himself, which I kind of like a little bit. But she's staring out a window. Obviously, spoiler alert. She's staring out the window. And then Michael Myers just shows up behind her and stabs her and she's dead now. And that really kind of pissed me off because that's the cliffhanger. It cuts to black after that. That really pissed me off because it's like, oh, Judy Greer's one of my favorite characters here. I really like her whole motivation and everything that she's been through. I really like her. So for you to just unceremoniously cuck her like that is so frustrating. And it's not exciting. I'm not excited going into the next movie. I'm upset. You just laid waste to one of my favorite characters for no reason in a very unceremonious way. Why? I'm mad. There's also a large sequence in this movie where they flash back to the 1978 movie. Apparently Michael went, I think it's back to his old house. There's two cops there that are investigating and he grabs one of them and then the cop shoots him, but it doesn't shoot Michael Myers. It shoots his partner and he feels guilty because he killed his partner. Which I get it, but then Michael Myers walks out and he's just like, I surrender. Let me get down my knees. And they all just start beating the crap out of him. Which, like, I don't believe he'd ever surrender. I don't know. I just, like, especially with the whole, like, Michael has no motivation or no wants or needs. He's just pure evil. Wouldn't he just try to lay waste to motherfuckers? Like, we know that bullets don't do anything to him. So why does he care with a bunch of people pointing guns at him? Does he really know? Does he really care? Why? Why is anything happening? And not in the cool, like, why didn't he kill the baby way? It's more like, why in the why? I don't understand. You're just making stuff up. And now you're ruining the first movie. Because now I have to look back at the first movie. If I take this as canon, I have to look back at the first movie and go, oh yeah, so after this dope night that he had, he just kind of like got on his knees and sucked off the police force. Screw you. I didn't mind it, especially since the 1978 footage that they have. They did a really good job. It looks like old footage. And as a film person, I'm like, that looks nice. I like that. Other than that, though, I don't really see what purpose it served the story besides to give the coach from Remember the Titans some more character, which, great. I'm really happy that they take this female-centric horror franchise and they just said, oh, let's forget all the girl characters. Let's just focus on Tommy Doyle, the cop that existed in the first movie. It's pretty lame. From a story and character perspective, this movie is super lame. That being said, it's the umpteenth sequel in a very drawn-out franchise, and the fact that it's this fun, that it's this scary, that it's this funny, it's this much of a good time, is credit to it. I know I talked a lot of crap about this movie, but it's a good time at the theater. There's definitely plenty of laughs. There's definitely some good scares in this movie. But if you're looking for anything story-wise or character-wise, you're kind of out of luck here. I recommend watching this in a crowded theater with a bunch of friends. Maybe have a couple drinks, honestly, because your brain's not going to be working the entire time. That's for sure. To put it in perspective, I know I'm ragging on it a lot, but like compared to like Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, this is leagues ahead of that. At least it's an entertaining movie. Like, this is a good time. Turn your brain off, chew on some popcorn, get scared, make some laughs, talk to your friends about it later. It's a good time at the movies. It's a 3 out of 5 for me. Slightly recommend. If you like horror movies, then I would recommend it to people. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody else, obviously. It's not must-see material. I would recommend seeing it in a theater just because I always recommend seeing things in a theater, but this is the kind of movie that the atmosphere really adds to it, so I think for that it's really great. I like the new opening, and it's got a bunch of pumpkins on fire. Yeah, it's great, and it's cute. Other than that, though, this movie is pretty forgettable. You're not really going to remember it. Despite the poor cliffhanger, I'm still excited for the third one. It's very clear that it's going to have this big showdown between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers, and obviously with what happens at the end, there's going to be some more personal stakes involved with that fight. I hope they do something cool and interesting with it. I hope they focus on the story and the characters a little bit more than just, it's a big horror, we're going to kill a bunch of people, it's going to be a bunch of blood, and we're going to make some jokes. And that's great. It's great. It's a fun time. I could see myself rewatching the 2018 Halloween movie quite a bit because it has a little bit more depth in that. Obviously, the 1978 Halloween movie is also just a bunch of killing, and there's not a lot of depth in character in that movie. But that was the first, okay? That was decades and decades ago. They get away with it, okay? The beauty in that movie is the simplicity. Now, liking the 2018 Halloween movie, going to this is really super lame. But other than that, though, like I said, it's a good time. I recommend it vaguely. It's a 3 out of 5. I'd recommend it over James Bond, probably. But honestly, next week is Last Night in Soho, or I think it's Dune, actually. Oh, go see Dune. I swear to God, if you guys don't see Dune, thank you guys so much for watching this. If you don't leave a like, don't say anything, don't do anything, just go watch Dune. If you care about movies and all, just watch Dune. Thank you. Bye.